I'm Sam. This is my newest build. So this one was built just for this show. So I named it Guardian of the Astral Tree. Basically, yeah, I just kind of started with the idea to try build as big a tree as I could kind of manage at the time. So yeah, the internal structure is mostly a whole bunch of turntables with just bits sticking out of each side.
So then that's how you kind of create this effect of the leaves and branches all the way around.
So I've tried to kind of make the tree actually look round and natural.
So with a build like this, where you've got so much detail, so much going on, where do you start building then when you first start it?
Kind of a bit all over the place.
Okay.
I generally try to start with, some initial landscape, but often stuff needs to be built into the landscape, so I have to kind of keep switching back and forth to make sure, everything kind of fits together as I go.
What was your kind of strategy with the different colors here? Because you've got a great blend of all these different leaf colors and then the different kind of landscapes. So what were you going for there?
I just wanted to make something that looked really fantasy. So I didn't want it to, look like it was from here. It, wanted it to, look like it was from another world. So I really tried to, kind of make it look unusual, I guess.
Yeah, and I think it achieves that nicely. One other cool thing you've done here is with the water. So talk about how that came together. You kind of build the deeper pools there and everything. You've got the waterfall. How does that work?
Yeah, so I bought some of the doors from the old Aquazone sets a few years ago, and I've just kind of been sitting on them for ages, not knowing what to do with them. And then I just kind of came up, with this idea to see how it works for water. It's actually come out really nicely, so I may keep my eye out, buy some more and expand on it, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's really great how you build that up so then you can stick like fish and seaweed pieces and stuff underneath there.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. They work really well because they're very thin, but also, they're still transparent as well, so it works really well to have stuff underneath them.
And then another detail that certainly catches your eye when you first look at this build is the big bird on top.
Yes.
So what's the design process like for that?
So I kind of just started with similar build to how the brick heads are done, just building it to the kind of cube format and then just kind of paneling that one out to round it. And the wings were a bit tedious. I just kind of had to keep trying until everything kind of fitted together. So there's a lot of weird little joints inside those wings to actually hold all the wing pieces on. Then I had to try mirror it without actually being able to see much, but so that was fun. But it came out nicely in the end, I think. So
then kind of on the other side, what do you have on the far side there? You can maybe spin it around a bit here. Try not to have any pieces fall off while we do it.
Yeah, well, I've been reattaching some of the leaves all day, so occasionally gets knocked a little bit, but mostly it's held together. None of the big stuff's fallen off, so it's been all right. But I built the cobblestone path. So I'd seen a similar technique used once for a wall, but I decided to expand on it and kind of add more angles into that and see if I can make it a bit more chaotic and naturally.
It's really beautiful the way you've achieved those subtle changes in height within the path there.
Yeah, well, the whole path also it very subtly bends a bit and is also actually different height at the start and the end, although it's not that noticeable just by looking at it, but yeah.
You didn't make it easy on yourself to just make the path there.
Like to, try to see how, I like to test myself a bit and see what I can do, so.
What are some tips you'd have for people maybe looking to do that type of, really detailed sort of sloping path effect? What are some things you learned as you did that?
Well, I find just just doing it very gently really helps. Like, you know, the parts will still hold together and bend slightly with the just, you know, slightly unconnected parts. So mostly I can find a bit that can actually come out. So it's like mostly just the panel pieces inside on the snot bricks. So the snot bricks are all lined up, then the panels sit on top of them, and then just either brick in different directions for the most part. And then I've added a few bits that are slightly bigger area, but it just has that right size because you get the extra half plate from the panel pieces to fill in the room.
So for the main tree portion here, is that pretty strong, or what's the connections like there? Keep it kind of fragile?
It is a bit fragile because initially I built it just using, trying to think of how to describe the style, but it was just bricks stacked on top of each other out of a central pillar, which after about 3/4 of the way through, I figured out a much stronger way to do that. So unfortunately, I did switch after that point, but the initial part is still the same kind of weaker structure, but it's
you know, you improved
so far, so.
You improved as a builder as you went along then.
Yeah, exactly. I always, you know, it usually happens with a lot of my builds. I start one way and then discover a slightly better way to do stuff, you know. Sometimes I have time to change everything, but didn't quite have the time to go back and change the entire structure inside this time.
How do you transport a build like this with so many leaves and everything on it to a show like Brickvention?
Mostly just on a board. It's just kind of sitting on the back seat of the car, just kind of locking in place. I do want to build some boxes for my builds though. I need to get around to that at some point. It's usually kind of still working on it the night before, so it's been awkward to like have time to then also, I should build something to transport.
Yeah.
Trying to place all the white flowers in star patterns, just because it's the Astral Tree, so I was trying to kind of match the kind of zodiac constellations stuff. So
just the subtle little details like that.
Yeah, I like to do, you know, little things like that, even though I know most people probably wouldn't actually notice it.
But, you know, it's a nice detail for you to recognize.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, great detail. Thank you.